The objective of today's walk is to walk to Black Hill from Crowden along the Pennine Way. The return route is also going to use the Pennine Way, but the pre-1966 route over Westend Moss. And if you're doing the Pennine Way from end to end and you started at Edale, Crowden was possibly your first night stop. Well, we've just come up the lane and we now join the Pennine Way. As you can see, the finger post pointing to the right is going to take us north. I think down below there, just in the trees, I think that's the what was the youth hostel. I believe it is still open, but only for large parties, not for a solitary walker doing the Pennine Way. Over to my right is Tooleyshaw Moss. I was there a good few weeks ago looking for the crash site of the Gloucester meteors, which I found up there. It's very quiet over that side. I'm expecting it to be quite busy on the Pennine Way today. Over to my east is Hay Edge, and that will be my return journey. I get a decent view now of the valley of Crowden Great Brook and of Laddow rocks on the top there. Oh, that's the climb ahead. It's quite still. I'm sure there'll be some breeze when I get to Black Hill, but for the moment it's not too bad. Now, I've got to confess, I'm not a big fan of this route, but normally I'm coming down rather than going up, and I just find it quite a tricky descent, certainly at speed. Oh, we've just done that first climb. I think it's actually easier going up it than what it is going down, but you're rewarded with quite a nice view back down the valley and a view across to the Laddow Plateau. Make no mistake, we're not there yet. Still a bit more climb to do. Splash of colour, some heather. It's quite nice. Well, we're at Oakham Clough now. This is quite pretty, with its rowan trees, or mountain ash, whatever you prefer to call them. As I climb this path and look back, the valley opens out and we get better views across to Laddow. I'm sure there'll be even better views when we get to the top. Well, I get a closer view of Laddow rocks now. I don't see anybody climbing on them today. Well, we're almost at Laddow rocks now, so we'll take a look back and take a look around. It's a shame the visibility isn't better, but I shouldn't complain. It was better than last week at this time. In fact, I can see the transmitter over there at Home Moss, which I couldn't see for less than a mile away last week. Looks like there's been a bit of a fire up here. The ground is charred. As I walk along the top of Laddow rocks, I notice there's another path below which kind of runs in parallel with the Pennine Way, and in Wainwright's Pennine Companion it suggests that in bad weather that may be the route to take rather than coming up high here on the rocks. The two paths will meet further on. Opposite me now, on the other side of the valley, are the castles. They don't look quite as impressive on this side as what they do on the other side. I think you get a much better profile further down the valley on the other side. I think this is where the lower path comes and meets the Pennine Way. Doesn't look quite as eroded. Probably makes for a much more pleasant walk. Well, we've dropped down now into the upper valley. I quite like this scenery. I'm glad we've got off the top. It's quite breezy up there, and I'm back to where it's sheltered. It's quite nice to hear the sound of that running water as it tumbles down through the valley. As the valley flattens out at the top, we have a number of streams to ford, so I can't really avoid wet feet here. Just finding a suitable way across, but once you've got your feet wet once, it doesn't really matter about getting them wet again. Well, after fording those streams, we're now on a nice paved section, but this path is just too damn busy. Too many people. Yeah, I think we could do with the bridge here. Oh well, like I said, once you've got your feet wet once, I guess it really doesn't matter if you get them wet again. Just have to make sure I don't fall in it. Well, it must be about a mile away from Black Hill. When we get there, we'll have done about 5 miles. It's not a particularly long walk from Crowden, and I think the return walks will be slightly shorter. Whilst walking in shoes, you can sometimes guarantee you're going to end up with wet feet. I think they have a distinct advantage over boots, because there's nothing worse when water goes over the top of a boot and your boot fills with water, because the water's not going to get out and it's going to stop in there. So I think shoes with a mesh top, which let water in and also lets water out. Well, this paving really does make for easy walking. It's just like going down the high street. Well, we've just reached a cairn now, so I'll just stop and turn around and just have a look back and see where we've just come from. Well, this time last week I was in thick mist. I came and approached Black Hill from the other direction, but I couldn't see anything. Couldn't see home Moss transmitter over there. Can you see how wet it is here? It's certainly busier than last week, possibly due to the weather being a bit better today. Anyway, here we are, Black Hill. Well, we've reached Black Hill. We're not going to hang about. That group around the trig point, they've been there a while. They're not going to. Don't think they're going to move. The way back now is a path across Tooleyshaw Moss. Looks a bit wet ahead, so let's see if we can pick up a path and find a way. Yep, looks pretty boggy here. Might just get my poles out just to prod the ground, just to see how soft it is. Yep, that's pretty wet. You can just about see a path there, but it's just wet ground. Anyway, as long as we don't sink, we should be all right. Well, I'm expecting this route to be a bit quieter. Don't expect to see many people on this path over here, or indeed mountain bikers as well. Wish I did meet in the on the Pennine Way. Well, I can see a cairn ahead, so I'm sure we're on the right. Sure, I'm on the right route. After crossing a very boggy plateau, we're now on much drier ground as we start to descend a little. A couple of curlew. That's come to rest now. Quite a large bird, really. Don't know whether you can hear its call. It's quite a dainty little cairn, that, as you're guiding you through these peat hags. This is much better than the Pennine Way. Okay, it's wet, it's boggy, but can hear the birds. Not bothered by cyclists or other walkers. It's great. Well, I can certainly see a distinct path over Westend Moss, which is our way back. There's a couple of people coming up. Well, I've never seen anything quite like it. Somebody's stuck a sock over the over that post. Well, in his book, Wainwright suggests that this route over Westend Moss to Black Hill is preferable to the one over Laddow Rocks. He suggests that it's safer in mist and it's more direct. Well, I'm on H now, and I'm looking back to where I've just walked from. You can see the transmitter on the horizon. And as I swing round, we can see the Woodhead Road and Woodhead Reservoir. Then a view over towards Bleaklow. And I assume that's a view towards Tintwistle, towards Crowden. And then that's the view over to Laddow Rocks, where we actually started our journey today, and across Roundhill Moss. Well, we're at the top of the old quarry now. You won't want to stray off there in the mist. It'll be a bit of a hard landing. There's a sheep over there. I'm not sure it's whether it's cracked fast or not on the quarry side. Somebody has gone towards it, but how the hell it got there, I don't know. Let's go down and have a look. It's a youngster. I don't know if we're going to get it down from there. It's a youngster stuck there. Yeah. I assume that mother over there is not too worried. Not a care in the world, just munching on the grass. Right, finally on our way back down to Crowden, down after that detour through the quarry to look at that young sheep stuck on the ledge. Have to see if I can find a farmer to report it to, because me and that other chap certainly couldn't do anything about it, and he was a climber. And back to where we started.